Welcome back. Number 2 of the day, and today is something we've been planning for a while. Kelsey Craft, my good friend. You've seen her in the back seat. Now she's the second time in the front seat, and she is Miss Florida for America right now.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's coming, the competition's right around the corner, the pageant.
I leave next Thursday. I fly to Vegas next Thursday for nationals, yes. The first ever Miss for America pageant.
And it's actually a really big event, but what's interesting is the people who own the pageant. Tell me about that.
Okay, so the Mrs. America system has been the most highly respected Mrs. pageant for many, many years, and it's been held in Vegas. I get to perform on the stage where Elvis Presley performed many shows,
yes.
So that's going to be so cool.
Yes.
But the Marmels are the ones who own the national pageant, but the Siegels, Jackie and David Siegel, are my directors for the state of Florida. They own the Florida division, and I am very fortunate for them to be my directors and guiding me to the national stage, because I did this pageant really in honor of them and for their cause, and that's how I got involved, because of their daughter, which is what we'll talk about.
Yeah, and their cause is, and you are very passionate about this, tell me all about it.
So they started Victoria's Voice Foundation in honor of their daughter, Victoria, who lost her life to a drug overdose at the age of 18.
Wow.
So they have basically given all of their time, money, efforts, passions towards, honoring her and spreading awareness about mental health and substance use.
Yeah.
I was told about this pageant, asked to compete, and I was like, man, I'm a full-time working girl.
Right.
Why should I do this? And a very close friend of mine told me about Victoria's story, and it just really touched my heart, and here I am. Got the state title and want to do a lot of good things for her and the Siegels.
Yeah, it's amazing. So far you've gone through the state of Florida kind of elimination, yes?
Yes, okay. I am Miss Florida for
And then you became Miss Florida.
Yes.
That was a whole process for you. Tell me how long that took.
I competed in May.
Yep.
I, competed on a stage. We do interview, swimsuit, and evening gown, and I was crowned middle of May, and I've spent the last couple of months preparing for the national competition and doing a lot of service work and community outreach throughout our state.
Wow. So one of the things that they give you, one of the things you kind of have to do, right, is be into something that you're passionate about, and that's kind of like your platform. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that, a lot of people don't understand pageantry, and yes, we do have, that on-stage performance, but I think the key piece in personal development and women in pageantry these days is people who really want to make a difference in their community. Mm-hmm. So a lot of women have their own personal platforms and messages that they want to share.
Right, because everybody comes with like an agenda, like this is why I want to do this, to spread the word.
To spread the word.
That's
and
what
to
I was trying to say. You said it better than me. Damn it.
And it really worked out for me because I've spent a lot of time, as a physician assistant. I'm very passionate about prevention and health awareness and education, and I was able to just kind of piggyback that onto that and really get involved with their foundation and talk about mental health because, as you know, it's becoming very, very prevalent, and we need it at the forefront of conversations, which is why I wanted to talk with you today.
Great. So tell me some of the things that you're really working towards and how you feel about it.
So many people do not know that Florida just became the 3rd state in the country behind New York and Virginia to require mental health education in public schools this upcoming school year. So this is just was approved and announced through the Florida Department of Education and through our governing offices that every year 6th through 12th graders will be required 5 hours of training on mental health and substance use. So that really launched, and they're looking at it, and the schools and school districts and leaders are saying, okay, what's going to be relevant to the different ages in the different times, and what do they need to know?
Is this a specific class, or this is course curriculum inside of like health class or whatever they have?
It's going to look different for the different schools. So each school and school district can make their own proposal as far as what they want to teach their students and what will be included in their curriculum and who their educators will be. So that's kind of where I come into play. I heard of this, and I've been in conversations and meetings with Florida First Lady Casey DeSantis. That was really cool. I was just in Tallahassee this Wednesday morning talking
I saw
with her.
all the pictures on the gram.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was just a wonderful meeting. She has started an initiative. She helped get this launched. She is starting a resource guide that will be available to everyone online. It's called Hope for Healing Florida, and it's going to be a one-stop shop for resources and information for parents and for students that anyone can go to. So I spoke with her. We're going to be partnering together. She wants to use me as one of her speakers going throughout the state. That is awesome. I'm so thrilled.
Yeah, congratulations. It's
Thank
great.
you. And I brought it to her attention, the Seagull story about, Victoria's voice and what that means to me and to all of us, and how we can kind of use that as part of maybe the curriculum or speakers that are coming into the schools, because it's something that people need to hear. So, let me show you.
Show me.
So this is you can't look at it, but
Okay.
This is Victoria's voice. This is her book. This was actually her diary, and it was her wish that her life would make a change and make an impact on other people. And she told a friend to have her diary found and was willing to have that published. So her parents actually put some more information into the book in the beginning and at the end, but it's her diary and what she went through anxiety, depression, getting into drug use, how that all kind of came about.
And her family was like very successful, very prominent, right?
Yes, and they're very open into sharing that, it was happening and they were not aware. And that's something that's not something to be shameful of. They're right now using their story to make good of it, and they just keep pushing along saying, hey, parents need to read this book. This could change your child's life. This can open up conversations as to, what are the kids going through.
Yeah.
It's part of my mission to get it into the hands of people who are involved with children, maybe that being teachers or school counselors. They already know kind of what to look out for. It's great. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Amazon, and it really changed the trajectory of what I was going to do. It wasn't until I read this book that I decided to compete in the pageant.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My friend said, Kelsey, you should do this pageant, read this book, and I finished it and signed up. So
you were ready.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That
It's
really
very
is.
educational,
Because the last time you talked, you thought that maybe you were going to hang up your crown, right?
I think I've learned that you
And
never
then you're
say
like,
retire, because there's
No,
always...
I have something else I need to do now.
Yeah, that's exactly a good way to put it, is I have something else that I need to do.
Right.
And I am just really called to make this a topic of conversation that's continually going. I mean, 5 hours annually is great, but in my eyes, that's not even enough.
Sure.
But let's start there. Florida, I know they've made some strong statements that they really want to set the bar for what the national standards should be. I mean, Florida being only the third state, they really want to set the precedents for getting this in all states. Mental health education, substance use awareness, and safety protocols.
Is the pageant going to be televised, or is it live, or how can we see it?
It will be live streamed. Yes.
It'll be live streamed. And what's the website?
That's
Do we know?
I will be publishing.
Because I don't
a
know
link.
it either. Yeah,
I'll be publishing.
Well, we'll put a
on my
link
personal
up
stuff.
so people can find it. That's pretty simple, but it might even be like a new link, right? Because when it goes live, they might have a specific URL, so that's
Correct.
fine.
And
but we'll do it. We'll get it. That way people can see it.
And the important thing when watching these pageants is that no one gets to see the behind-the-scenes work.
Right.
No one gets to see the one-on-one interviews with the judges. No one gets to see what all of the wonderful women are doing leading up to the pageant and even after in their communities and their states. So that's something I really wanted to share, is this is a message that, a constant conversation I'm having is, what can we do? What organizations need to hear this message? I've been looking...
You've been traveling everywhere.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I did make a vow to visit all 67 school districts during my year. So
Really?
I will be very busy, and I'll be working with Casey and the Seagulls as well to make that happen. Not only just for a personal goal, but because I don't want a pocket of the state to be unreached.
Yeah.
I've been going to Boys and Girls Clubs. Pace Center for Girls is a good organization that will, after school programs and in the schools. So kids can talk about, where do I go? Hope for Healing will have that link where kids can say, I'm being bullied. What should I do? I'm feeling depressed or anxious. What should I do? The National Suicide Hotline and Prevention Hotline will be is on the website already.
Yeah.
I'm going to personally be putting, I talked to Mrs. DeSantis about getting that out to all the students, even if they haven't been spoken to yet, or learn about the curriculum, getting them that resource and knowing that it's there. So on my autograph cards, for example, I'm going to have her website and the links and the suicide hotline as well.
Is there a specific message you want to get across to people that watch the show? Because there may be something that you want to tell. I want to make sure that anything that you have to say, I don't want to interrupt. I want to make sure that we're getting out the right stuff. But I do know that you're working very hard, that you're very passionate, that you're going to be across the whole state, right? You go to
the country. We're gonna get
of course,
we're gonna do Miss for America, and I'm gonna be traveling all the way to
so
the
what's
going to
happen when you win? You have to then go across the whole country, every school district?
Not every school district.
Right,
It's called divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yes. So the important things that I want people to know just in general is looking out for those red flags, having a constant conversation, whether that be in the home or schools or in programs, people and adults too. Right now, I'm focusing on the school age children, 6th through 12th grade, but 50% of mental illness begins before the age of 14. So to be looking out for that, to be talking about it, there's a big thing happening where you think about there can be circumstantial factors when people are in an adjustment, when people lose a loved one. But imagine what you went through, ages 13 to 18.
Sure.
How much change you went through. These kids changing schools, changing friend groups, changing passion, trying to find themselves, and
And now with the internet and all the bullying going on Snapchat and everything else. And did you see that Snapchat has the new little thing? It says that if you share this message or something and it's bullying, you're going to be banned from the website. And
that is cool. Yeah. I do not have Snapchat anymore. It was
some of the new little apps that add on to it will say that in red, like it gives you like a warning if you're using this add-on
to bully. They said specifically.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
And they are. I mean, it's clear like that's what the kids were doing with like the different vote for me or polls and all this. Like, you hate such and such. It was getting crazy.
Yeah,
like, that's all.
And they
doing
think they're invincible. And
yeah.
I think one thing too is having those conversations with the kids of you're not going to be retaliated. You can report bullying.
Yeah.
Anonymously.
Right.
That you won't be reprimanded for it, for sure. That you have support, you have people in your corner, and it's not acceptable. And the other thing is that some kids learn, some kids have great mentors at home, great parents, great conversations, but they're spending how many hours in the school system with different influence of their peers. And then there's others who kind of learn of what they think is appropriate behavior and how to treat people in the home. So you have, you're coming from different ends of the spectrum that bullying is not okay. Bullying can provoke anxiety. It can be circumstantial in that depression and that lack of belonging, and then kids seeking out connections through other things, and then that's where the substance use comes in. And then also just a matter of how do we cope? How do we teach the kids proper behavioral strategies and who to talk to before we just medicate? Because drug addicts many times start, with opioids, and it's that numbing effect. And you can read more and more about that. And it'll be audience specific because, certain grades don't necessarily need the same education about certain substances as, maybe the high schoolers, whereas it's more prevalent. But things
Although this day and age, who knows?
It's happening younger and younger and younger. It's even a matter of, I had a friend, they said they're willing to share their testimony. I'm going to be putting on some fundraisers. They actually thought they were at a party. They thought they were going to be smoking weed, and they ended up smoking crack cocaine and became addicted first try.
No way.
Yes, first try.
Get out of here.
Yeah, just because of that addictive personality, and being aware of, your family history as far as does addiction run in my family? It doesn't have to be my family was addicted to X. It could be I have a family member who was was maybe an alcoholic, but you could be more prone to being addicted to drugs, and depending on what you're exposed to. So that's really important. Just ongoing conversation and taking away that stigma. We always talk about, destigmatizing mental health. I can even share some personal stories that, I was in college and I was going through depression, really, truly, and didn't talk to anybody about it except a guy I was dating at the time. And I told him, I said, I think I'm depressed. He was the very first person I verbalized to it. And He told me that it was, he goes, that's just a matter of your mind. That's a choice. And I think you should go to church more.
Oh, yeah, that's going to solve it. Sure.
So I think that equipping the students and parents with the right things to say if someone does approach you.
Yeah.
How can you support, your peers and your students and your people at work, even an adult, that there's not a right answer. You don't tell someone who might be going through mental illness, what to do, but saying, I'm here for you, I'm listening to you, and then being comfortable saying, hey, have you thought about getting, professional help? Because there is no shame in, seeking therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, and just having someone to talk to and listen. Therapists are trained professionals, and that's not a pride thing. That's, important for our health.
Absolutely.
And I think school counselors, we're going to be probably equipping schools with more school counselors is my hope, so they can be accessible.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a few at the whole entire school.
Just a few. It was like when I was in school, it was like maybe one. There was one school counselor.
Now there's two. I think they have two.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that needs to be ongoing. I mean, even in the universities, it shouldn't stop at 12th grade, right? There's another transitional period in the public universities, and I spoke to Casey DeSantis about that, and she goes, "That's great. We need to get into these universities too." So, it's going to be ongoing. It's going to be in the news. It's going to be probably in parent newsletters. It's going to be a lot of changes happening. And school year starts Monday?
Tuesday, yeah. Well,
Tuesday.
Here in Collier. I don't know. Is it Monday
somewhere? I mean, school is starting next week.
That's right.
They did all the backpack drives and everything. The kids are ready to go, and they need the school supplies, but they also need the mental equipment to handle the school year.
That's true. Well, it was a pleasure. I always love talking to you and seeing you, Kelsey. Miss Florida for America, Kelsey Craft. You guys, we're gonna watch her do big things. She's gonna be out there. When's the competition?
The 16th through the 23rd. So the finals is the 23rd, and we'll post the link to watch if anyone's curious.
Well, good luck, and thank you so much for coming on.
And here's Victoria's Voice one more time.
Yes. That's the book.
Go out and get it. It's great. If you really are interested and cannot afford it, I will get you a copy.
And
so message me.
They can find you on the gram. It's Kelsey.
The gram.
Yeah.
I have Facebook, and you'll probably tag me on Facebook. People can reach out, and Instagram. I have a personal account, Kelsey Craft, and the Florida account, which is a cool one because that's you can follow along what I'm doing with the kids throughout the state, and that's Miss Florida FL. So Miss FL for America.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye, guys. This is the Captain's Log. We're out.